I've fallen in love with the sport. I think I've watched every game last year, watched all the Gillaroo games. It's just exciting and there's so much to learn from it. It's not just you're good at it, there's something to work on. The more you invest in your preseason, it's going to show during the season.
I kept the faith, keeping the faith, I know you got it. Yeah, out of my way, give me some space, just family around me. Yeah, putting in work, won't say a word till they announce it.
So last year I have a background, I was playing OzTag with a few friends and they started playing League. And I thought it looked cool, so they got me to come down just to a club up at Runaway Bay and jumped into a few training sessions. The training sessions were with the men's team, which was pretty confronting for the first time. But from there I met Rona Peters, who actually invited me down to the Tweed training. It took a lot of convincing because I knew it was QRL level, which was very intimidating. But she kind of explained to me, hey, like, even if you come down, just learn from girls at that standard. You're gonna somewhat learn the game better. So I came down with no expectations, got welcomed in really well from the staff and the girls. And yeah, it kind of went from there. This year I really want to, solidify my position in that team, in that starting position, and kind of make my mark working up towards those higher levels. You know, I think every girl at this level deep down would love to play NRL. The way the game is developing, I think the opportunities are there. And then from there, it's giving the other younger girls opportunities to then come play up in those positions as well. Playing NRL would be the ultimate goal, but honestly, just working on my position here and becoming the strongest that I can be, I think that's a goal for BMD.
I've been scheming up a plan, hey. I've been saving all I can, hey. You can call me David Rams, hey. The way I handle these bands, hey. We ain't messing with the old model, new era, new kid, we full throttle, Just know that the come up is not a flaw. My amigos, they focus, know what to do. After I get it, I realize.
The first couple of games were learning curves, and honestly, the girls went out there and did the best they could. There are some areas that we can improve on in terms of effort. I think as soon as something happens, we seem to put our head down and then go down that negative spiral. But, you know, there are moments when the girls get the ball in the hands and we have some good footy. Like, there have been moments, like really good moments.
Gordon picks up, runs, goes for another kick.
Chip chase! Chip chase!
And she plays it well, Daisy Gordon.
Round 2, we were playing Mackay. I was pretty happy with how I was playing. However, in the last couple minutes of the game, my shoulder decided to stay back in Mackay. It kind of fell out of place, you could say. And yeah, I unfortunately had a shoulder dislocation. It is the first time I've had an upper limb injury, so it was something quite new to me. Ended up kind of going through the processes of that. It was a bit of a long trip home. Then from there, just really been working around rehabbing it. So trying to get that shoulder back to 100% is probably a main goal for now. I think I need to prioritise my future self. I still got a long way to go, I think, in the footy industry. So I don't want to kind of be jeopardising my shoulder of re-injuring it and having shoulder injuries in the future. So just kind of making a plan from here on out.
What do you remember, I guess, feeling in that moment? Like, did you, like the pain, did you know how serious it could be?
In the tackle, I actually didn't know that my shoulder was out. You see the video, I get up and try to run back into the line, and it wasn't the moment until I started running I noticed it was swinging. And that moment I looked down the field straight at our physio and was like, nah, I've got to come off. And the pain, once that adrenaline runs off, it hits you. All the emotions come in, like, to your head as well, like, you know, what's the next step for you? And it's pretty tough, like, you know, there's a lot of things on the line at the moment and it's rough, like, you don't know your next step, but, you know, it's been a good wake-up call to kind of take a step back, realise where I want to go with things and sort of, like, focus on where I am now. But yeah, it was a long weekend, but only next step is to step forward from here. So within the next week or two, I will go see the surgeon and he will kind of give me the all clear, or he kind of will play the last decision, I think, as being an expert. From there, kind of what that plan from there. So say he says I don't need to have surgery right now. I think after the Easter break, I'm going to come back and play that Wynnum game. I think every opportunity is an opportunity. So I'd really love to get out there with the girls. I've been at every training session already and it's killing me. Rehabbing every day, in the gym every day, trying to kind of get that back to 100%. Because I think as much as you feel it's 100% in here, I think 100% has to come from up here. So just kind of getting more and more movement and involved to get back as soon as possible, I think.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that can end the summer soak.
I went and saw the specialist and I honestly didn't think the conversation was going to go the way it did. I thought he was going to be like, yep, next week let's go in, have a shoulder reco. However, we had conversations of what ifs and plans and he honestly said I can continue to play. It's more of a confidence thing. Obviously with the damage of the shoulder, it could pop out, but it's probably not going to make it any worse. He said, if you feel confident enough to strap it, see how you go, and then we'll just pencil it in a month's time, have another appointment and kind of see from there. So all I did is just went to training, had it strapped and did a full training session, and honestly it felt fine. Like there was no kind of worries, there was no pain, it didn't feel like it was going to go. So I was like, okay, like let's do this. So yeah, we decided to play out the rest of the season and kind of make an appointment in the future and see how it continues to go.
And then talk me through the game. What was it like for you being out there? How did it feel?
The first half, it felt good. My shoulder felt good. The positivity before and during that first half felt really good. I felt like we really were a team and it was really exciting. So it was awesome to be out there. I think the first few minutes I was really nervous. It showed in the first kind of set. I was very nervous and I almost choked a little bit. So yeah, after that I was very down on myself and then I knew I had to kind of change that up, and it came from, you know, our team of a full effort setting up that try in the corner, and I think all the confidence came back from there. But I can't take that try to be my own. It was a whole team try. All I had to do was put it down in the corner. But yeah, I think that's where the confidence then came back. It was good to get around the girls and feel like that team spirit was back again.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby. Don't let it make you spark. Keep it close to your heart. All of the pressure's gonna drive you crazy. Close your eyes to the madness. In the morning,
Bridget, how do you sum up season 2023 of BMD Premiership?
To be honest, not what I was expecting. I really was trying to progress this season. However, I had a bit of a speed bump with a pretty serious injury, obviously, with my shoulder. I got to then take a step back, reassess my kind of where I want to be and my work-ons from there, move away, do my rehab. But it kind of inspires me to come back even stronger, really work on those shoulders, go back to my tackle tech, take those baby steps, and then by next season, pre-season, I'll be back ready to go, which is exciting.
What would you say are the biggest lessons you've taken from it all?
I wanted to jump too quickly, I think, and then really getting into this season, I thought I was maybe at a level that I could have been at, but it was good. Like, it was humbling to play up against girls that I idolise. I played up against Julia Robertson the other week, and she's a freak and crazy, such a good player. So she is someone that I now look at and I want to be as good as her. Like, it's a long way to go, but you know, it's inspiring to have played against some of these girls that I want to be at that level. So I know that jump is there, but I know it's achievable. It just takes time, and confidence. So.
You said at the start, you know, you wanted this to almost be like a bit of a breakout season, but do you have to sometimes remind yourself you are young, you are still just starting out?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I am still young. I need to remember sometimes some of these girls didn't start playing NRLW until they had another 5 years on me. So it's exciting to see where I'd be in, say, 5 years' time. You know, today got to play against Ali Brigginshaw, who is an icon of the game. She had a really good chat to all of us after the game and mentioned how, you know, don't walk away from this season negative. It may not have been the season us girls compared to the Devils and us wanted, but it's development. You know, the season and the BMD comp wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for all of us. So yeah, I think I'm just appreciative of being a part of it. So, you know, we've got to kind of pave that pathway for us and the next generation in the future.
Moving forward, what are your rugby league goals still?
Yeah, so by pre-season next year, I definitely want to be back in the BMD scene, making my mark in the BMD scene. I want to be up there with one of the, you know, top 40 players that are getting recognised. Just making my mark, but as well, I think this year, because I was so focused on progressing to the next level, I was a little bit selfish. Like, I think next year will be a lot more team orientated and being there supporting all the girls. Because I think that's the way that teams develop, and that's the teams that do well, the ones that are really close-knit. So a lot of these girls have had actually a really good year together. We've obviously been through a lot of heartbreak, but we keep coming back. So as long as we stick together, like, I think that will be the exciting thing for next year.